And good evening, everybody. Hope everyone is well on it's chilly here at the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. It's 10:36 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on the 10th of April, 2025. John DFW joining us. How you doing, John? What's going on in that 1993 drive for the pennant, man? What is going on there? So, just came from another great game from Legend Sports University Franchise Stars Baseball League. Dodgers and Twins. No spoilers. Hell of a game. Hell of a game. All right. 1993 Braves doing well and drive for the pennant for John. Awesome. Such a great game mode. Really, really is. So do check out that game, Dodgers and Twins. It's a really, really good game. Um, no spoilers. It's really good. It's just such a fantastic project he's doing. I say it a billion times, and I'll probably say it a billion times more. All right, so I don't see cousin Ken Castro, so I think we're going to go ahead and we'll skip by dead ball baseball again. We'll get there. So tonight it looks like we're going to have the 1970 Baltimore Orioles facing the 2001 Seattle Mariners. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. I wish this was a little bit more, a little bit tricky to see. I gotta kind of. There we go. This should be it. And it's not. That's the Reds. That was one off, I think. Oh my God. Yeah, these are really really tricky to see, especially first round. It gets easier. Gets easier. I could swear that said Baltimore though. Bah. I should just play. There we go. Now, see, because there's the. Oh, so it's the Reds. I'm sorry. It's the Reds and the Orioles. I thought it was the Mariners. So the 1976 Cincinnati Reds against the 1970 Orioles. So Pat Zachary. Boy, I don't know. Do we want to we want to give him the start here? Let's look at the Reds here. Let's look at the Reds. Let's go to lineups here. So, just a moment, please, while I find these Cincinnati Reds. I mean, Pat Zachary, good record. I just want to see this being a one and done. So it looks like it's Zachary, Norman, Nolan, Gullett, and Alcala. So I guess we're going to go with Pat Zachary. I mean, I'm almost tempted to go with Gary Nolan, but we haven't really messed with this too much. All right, so now I have to find it again. Oh, out of the park, fix this, for God's sake. All right, there we go. So let's go. This is going to be Pat Zachary versus Jim Palmer. Volume is a little low. Is that better? If I pop it up there, is that better? Hopefully it is. Hopefully it is. Oh. All right. Thank you, John. All right. I'm going to just turn this up just a little bit. Shouldn't matter, but there we are. All right. For the 1976 Reds. Leading off in right field, Ken Griffey Sr. batting second at third base. Pete Rose batting third. Second baseman, Joe Morgan. Batting a cleanup spot in center field, George Foster. Batting fifth, left fielder Dan Dreesen. Batting sixth at first base, Tony Perez. Batting seventh, in catching, Johnny Bench. Who else? And batting eighth at shortstop, Dave Concepcion. Pat Zachary taking them out. 14 wins, 7 losses in 1976. A 2.74 earned run average, a 1.24 whip, 6.3 strikeouts per 9 innings, 3.7 walks per 9. For the 1970 Baltimore Orioles, leading off in left field, Don Buford. Batting second, the great center fielder Paul Blair. Batting third in the right field, the Judge, Frank Robinson. In the cleanup spot at first base, Boog Powell. Batting fifth at second base, Davy Johnson batting sixth at third base, the veritable wizard of the hot corner. Brooks Robinson batting seventh and catching. Andy Etchebarren batting eighth at short. Mark Belanger and Jim Palmer taking the mound and batting ninth. Palmer in 1970, 20 wins, 10 losses, a 2.71 earned run average, 1.19 whip, 5.9 strikeouts per 9 innings, and 3 walks per 9. All right, all of that being said, we are on our way to Memorial Stadium, Baltimore, Maryland. It's partly cloudy, 66 degrees, and a wind blowing in from left at 11 miles per hour. Again, this is based on the teams selected, and then that article that was posted on Boston.com. The link is down in the comments section, so do check it out. It's an excellent article, and who knows, you might find it as an inspiration for for a project of your own. All right, let's see. All right, we're going to just stick with the park pick. Hey, Barbara, good evening. I hope you're doing well. It's good to see you. Barbara is the official family multitasker. In case anybody had missed that memo, now you have it. All right, and here we go, here we go, here we go. Starting defense for the Baltimore Orioles of 1970. In left, Don Buford. In center, Paul Blair. And in right, Frank Robinson. From first to third, we got Boog Powell, Davy Johnson, Mark Belanger, Brooks Robinson, Andy Etchebarren wearing the tools of ignorance, and Jim Palmer ready to face Ken Griffey. But let's do a fly around here, Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. And hope everybody will enjoy the festivities tonight. These two 70s teams facing off. And here is the pitch. Check swing, and Jim Palmer loses Griffey Sr. So he will trot down to first on the full count pitch. Griffey aboard with good speed, and here's Pete Rose now. Pete Rose, 323 hitter in 1976, 10 homers, 63 runs batted in. Good hit and run tandem here. 3-1 pitch, and Rose takes inside, so Jim Palmer, early trouble here. And cousin Ken gets in here. I didn't know he was coming in tonight, so that's why I wait for him to come in to pick the dead ball. And there's Nathaniel Advocate 8-8. But Ken Castro, you do like 1970s baseball, and that's exactly what we're playing tonight. So went to a couple of games at Memorial Stadium with his dad and grandfather, says John DFW. Pirates beat these Orioles in this ballpark twice. Pretty awesome. 71-79. So bookending the decade. But this is a great matchup, these two teams. But Palmer in trouble earlier, and it doesn't get easier at all in this entire Cincinnati Reds lineup. And of course, we'll talk about that Baltimore lineup as well. So Joe Morgan at the plate. George Foster waits on deck. Nobody out, 2 on. Griffey at second. Rose at first. Morgan with a 320 average in 1976. He had 27 out of the park and 111 runs batted in. So Palmer looking to get an out up there. Here's the pitch. Morgan swings in the first pitch. This one drilled into center. This is going to be a base hit, and that's going to be an RBI for Joe Morgan to throw to the plate, the tag, and they get, oh my God, they get Ken Griffey. They get Ken Griffey. I thought he was in there for sure. Let's look at just the regular replay. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So what did I say at the beginning of the broadcast? The great center fielder, Paul Blair, and wow. Paul Blair with the big, big throw from center field to home. So 1 away, and we got Aaron Reed here with us tonight, Dwayne Martz. So everybody, we're looking forward to Dwayne Martz Monday night broadcast. Yeah, and Blair was just amazing, and in everything I've played with Paul Blair, doesn't matter the baseball sim, he's incredible. Just an incredible, and that beating that he took, I think certainly hurt his career, but wow, just phenomenal player, Paul Blair. Wow. All-star group in here, how about it? How about it? All right. So here's George Foster, and Foster, 29 home runs, 121 runs batted in, a 306 average. Dan Dreesen waits on deck. Pete Rose at second. Joe Morgan at first. And the 2-0 pitch on the way to Foster. Foster swings and tattoos this one to left. It's gone. Aunt Minnie opened the window. 3-run shot. 3-run shot by George Foster. 340 foot on that one. And Cincinnati puts 3 on the board here. Understandably not happy here in Baltimore in that one. Let's look at this little ride here. And Foster arcing shot out there to left, and it's going to get back to about what? Second row. All right, George Foster making his way around the bases, and that brings up Dan Dreesen. 1 out, and Palmer in serious trouble here. Full count on Dreesen. Dreesen takes inside. Jim Palmer not finding the strike zone, and it seems that the one time he does find it, he gets hurt big time. So Earl Weaver sitting stoically right now in the bullpen as Tony Perez steps to the plate. Perez hitting .260 with 91 runs batted in, 19 home runs in 1976. Here's the pitch, and Perez swings, and this is going to get down for a base hit, right field, and stopping at second is Dan Dreesen. So the woes continue for the Orioles here in the top of the first. I was thinking this was going to be a great matchup. We'll see. I don't know. Johnny Bench now, 234 average for Aaron's Reds, 16 home runs, 74 runs batted in. All right, here we go. The 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3. So Bench could do nothing with the fastball from Palmer. He's having to reach back there on that one. All right, so 2 down now for Dave Concepcion. 9 homers, 69 ribbies, a 281 average. 2 on, 2 down for the Reds, and 3 in here in the top of the first. The 1-0 delivery, and this one skied to left, and should be a non-issue, and Don Buford will make the catch. But Cincinnati strikes first, swiftly, and hard. 3 runs on 3 hits. We go to the bottom of the first inning. The 1976 Reds 3 and the 1970 Orioles coming to bat. Starting defense for the Reds looks like this. In left field, Dan Dreesen. In center, George Foster. And in right, Ken Griffey. At first base, Tony Perez. At second, Joe Morgan. At short, Dave Concepcion. And at the hot corner, Pete Rose. Johnny Bench behind the plate. Pat Zachary gets ready to work to Don Buford. Buford leading off here for these Baltimore Orioles. 272 average. It was 17 home runs and 66 ribbies. Zachary enjoying a 3-0 lead right now. 3-0 pitch on the way. Buford looks at ball 4. Here we go. This is exactly how the game started for Cincinnati. And now the speedy Don Buford on to first. And here is Paul Blair. Paul Blair, 267 hitter back in 1970. 18 home runs, 65 runs batted in. Do want to remind everybody, again, that Dwayne Martz is going to be doing on Monday. So Monday the 14th, it's going to be Digital Diamond Baseball version 13, baby. Dwayne, do you know about what time you're going to be on? I hope I'm going to be home by then. I have to work till 8:30. It's the rare Monday I've got to work. Hopefully, because I want to catch it live, man. Been a long day. Nathaniel says he had a long day. Well, unwind and enjoy some shenanigans here, my friend. All right. And again, so mark that on put that in your diaries, your calendars, whatever you want to call it. Dwayne Martz. I hope it's like 9 o'clock at night, but who knows. So there will be no Monday baseball unless Dwayne decides to do it in the afternoon. But Dwayne, you don't want to do that. Most people are on in the evening, right? Right. All right, here we go. Paul Blair waits for the Pat Zachary delivery. Full count on Blair, and Blair cuts on this one. And this one lined to Perez and has it for the out. So one away. Dwayne says, not sure. I mean, no, I mean, if I have to catch it on the flip side, but I really want to, I want to see it live. I will do my best to be here by 9 o'clock. Dwayne, I'm only 45 minutes from you. I should just come down there. Yeah. All right, here's Frank Robinson. Robinson, 25 homers, 78 ribbies, 306 average for the Judge. Buford on at first, one away, 3-0 your score. Bottom of the first. Here's the pitch, and this one is going to be a wild pitch, and Bench having to chase it back to the backdrop, and that will allow Don Buford to reach second. All right. So both pitchers a little bit off their game right now. Robinson back in the box, and the 2-1 pitch. And the throw to third. They got Buford dead to rights. Wow. Buford not getting the good jump, and Johnny Bench heads up play. Snap throw down there to Mr. Rose. Look at that again. So not a good jump by Buford at all. I mean, I think Johnny Bench practically could have jogged that ball down to third base, or at least halfway, and given it a little toss. Nailed, says Nathaniel. How about it? All right, Robinson back in now. Base is empty, so huge play for the Cincinnati Reds right there. Full count now on Robinson. Robinson swings. High fly ball to left field. Going back, and it is out of here. So the caught stealing is huge as Frank goes yard. Solo shot. I mean, and Robinson got all of that. 416 feet. 3-1 instead of 3-2. Let's look at that one again. Robinson will hurt you. You can't let up on him. Dangerous, dangerous hitter. Exit velocity 104 miles an hour. Corey Highfield, there he goes. He says, go Reds. All right. Touch them all, Frank. Touch them all, Frank. All right, here's Boog Powell now. 297 average in 1970. 35 home runs, 114 runs batted in. 0-2 pitch on the way to Boog. Big swing and a miss. So 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. We head to the top of the second inning. The 1976 Reds 3 and the 1970 Orioles 1. So Pat Zachary, and then back at the top of the order, Ken Griffey and Pete Rose. Zachary, a 113 average in 1976 with 2 ribbies. Jim Palmer looking to try to settle it down here a little bit. 1-2 pitch on the way to Zachary. And this one painting the outside corner. Nice curveball by Jim Palmer. So 1 away and his second strikeout, but Palmer already with 3 walks in the game. And here is Griffey back at the top of the order now. 1 of the walks, led off the game with a walk. 1-2 pitch. Griffey swings. Now it looks like Palmer might be finding his groove. So chalk up K number 3 for Palmer and 2 down for Pete Rose. Pete Rose also walked. Full count. And Rose is going to walk again. All right. 1 on, 2 down now for Joe Morgan. 1 for 1. 1-0 delivery. And there goes Pete Rose. The throw down. And Rose is in standing. So Echeverren, a little tardy getting the horsehide out of the glove, and it puts Rose in scoring position. Reds looking for more here. 2 down in the top of the second. Little Joe back in the box. Count full. Morgan swings. Number back to short. And Belanger has it. Low throw to first. But Powell digs it out, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a runner left. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Cincinnati 3, Baltimore 1. All right, good to see everybody saying hi to everybody else. And here's Davey Johnson. Davey had 10 dingers in 1970 with 53 runs batted in. Pat Zachary with a walk and a strikeout through an inning of work. 2-0 delivery to Johnson. And Johnson hits this one high, but I don't think deep enough. Let's see. Oh, no, wait, going back. And it's out of here. How about that? So the ball flying like crazy here today at Memorial Stadium. This one just clears the fence. Pretty big outfield out there, so this was a big ballpark. So Baltimore answers and gets one back now, and so scoring one each in the first 2 innings is 3-2. And as always, gotta replay home runs and triples. So wasn't sure about this one at first, but just into the bullpen area out there. Davy Johnson will touch them all. 3-2. If you were looking for a pitcher's duel, ain't happening here. All right, here is the great Brooks Robinson. You know, what a great defensive third baseman. But people forget that Brooks had pop in his bat, too. 18 dingers that year with 94 runs batted in. And here is the pitch. And this one, Swimmer back to the mound. Should be no problem there for Pat Zachary to make the 1-3 put out on to Tony Perez. All right, one away for for Andy Etchebarren. I was looking at Tony Perez's name. 1-1 pitch to Etchebarren. And this one, two-hopper to short. And in one nice motion, Concepcion will go to first to retire Andy Etchebarren. 6-3 on that put out, and 2 away now for Mark Belanger. 218 light hitting shortstop, a home run, 36 runs batted in. Behind in the count, 2-1. Belanger swings and line drive out to right, and this is going to get down for a base hit. And having a little trouble over there with that ball in right field is Griffey. So short hops him and gets back to the fence. Belanger has a 2-out double. Get your programs now. Get your programs. All right, and here's Jim Palmer batting with 2 down. Palmer, a 150 average in 1970, so a home run for Jim, and 9 runs batted in. Count full, and late swing called strike 3. All right, so 1 run on the Davy Johnson solo shot, 2 hits, no errors, and a runner left. We go to the top of the 3rd inning. Cincinnati 3, Baltimore 2. We got a ball game. Ken Castro says anything about the new Cards and Dice game out called High Leverage Baseball. $60 for game, no seasons. $80. Yeah, that's I know Paul Fay has given that game a lot of praise. My pockets are just not that deep. I mean, hey, I'm not monetized. Well, let me put it this way. If I want to pay $80 for a season for a game, I expect some gratification. We'll put it that way. I'm going to be very nice. You can interpret that the way you want. $80 for a season. That's or $60. I'm sorry, $60 still. That's that card stock better be incredible, for one thing. And I don't understand, why would you? So $60 for the game. No, I did read it right. $80 for a season. Damn. The pitchers the Orioles had back then, every park was a pitcher's park. Yeah, how about it? How about it, John? That makes Strat and you know, look cheap. Why would you sell a game, a $60 board game, baseball game, with no seasons? What's it come with, like just a couple teams you play with, or what? Yikes! Not $80, dude. So, wow. So for $80, that gets you what? Maybe 3? Yeah, I guess 3 seasons in what is it? Replay baseball. I'm sure that gets you a couple seasons in a lot of other games. What I don't know what inside pitch costs. I mean, good luck to high leverage guys, but whew. All right. George Foster solo, that was that big 3-run blast back in the first. Those are the 3 runs for the big red machine here. 0-2 pitch on the way.
Strike 3.
Foster looks at called strike 3. Jim Palmer challenging him with a fastball. So 1 away now for Dan Dreesen. Count full on Dreesen. Walked his last time up. Dreesen cuts on this one. Routine roller out there to second base. Plenty of time for Davy Johnson. Makes the easy pick and the toss on to Boog Powell. 2 up, 2 down now for Tony Perez. He is 1 for 1. 3-1 the count. And Perez swinging on that hitter's count. And easy play over there for the final out. So Cincinnati goes quietly. We go to the bottom of the third inning, and it's 3-2. Good ball game here. Don Buford, we're back at the top of the order. Paul Blair and Frank Robinson. Only 36 players per team? What? Get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah. So, yeah, you could update your, yeah. Yeah, well, so digitally, oh my God. So for 80 bucks, 80 bucks, I could get me a passel of classic past seasons for Diamond Mind. Phew. 80 bucks, dude, I could buy somebody Digital Diamond Baseball, which is 2 games in 1 plus a great board game companion. I could buy them and I could buy them Out of the Park Baseball. Again, I know it's not fair to make that comparison between cards and dice, but that seems prohibitively, like, it's just stratospheric cost. But who knows? Maybe Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos will have a head-to-head tournament or something. All right. Anyhow, 1-2 pitch on the way to Buford. Buford takes inside and strike 3. So low slider there by Pat Zachary, picking up his 3rd strikeout. Paul Blair, 0 for 1. Count full on Blair. Both pitchers going pretty deep in the count, and there goes Paul Blair down on strikes. Strikeout number 4 for Zachary. And here is the judge. Solo shot for him. 2-2 pitch, giving Baltimore its first run. And Robinson lines this one to right. This will get down for a base hit. Makes the wide turn and holds it first. Legend Sports Universe coming in here, says Pat Zachary, who Jerry Coleman once famously said, looks like he got here on a raft. So $140 for the game and a season. So what does an APA season cost? So if you bought the APA game, and let's say you splurge, you got APA, you get the Master Game, and a season. Come on. That's $140. So Legends, again, telling everybody at the beginning, they got to check out that Twins-Dodgers game. I caught the last 2 innings. Great game. No spoilers. It's a great one, though. It really is. So check that out. That just finished a few minutes before I came on. Yeah, that's a lot of money. I don't know who they think their demographic is. Wow. 3-2 pitch, and the runner was going. Fly ball out to center field. This is gonna get down into the glove of George Foster. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left on. We head to the top of the 4th inning. Your score: Cincinnati 3 and Baltimore 2. Dwayne Martz, Tabletop Legends. Is this the all right, sound's going to cut out for a second, guys, because it's Out of the Park Baseball, and it does that. So here it is, guys. We're going to take a little game break here. So $59.99. This is a complete game, but does not include any seasons. So here's what you get. You get 4 selected teams from the previous season or 4 classic teams from Major League Baseball history. This does not come with the 2024 season or any other complete season. It's the ultimate fast-paced strategic baseball simulation. Step up to the plate and experience baseball like never before with high-leverage baseball, a statistically accurate tabletop simulation that captures the drama, strategy, and unpredictability of America's pastime. Designed for fast, exciting gameplay, this system delivers deep strategy without overwhelming complexity. Okay, I guess. So what do you get? You get the rule book. You get 4 classic teams. The game charts, stealing charts. Ooh, okay, so lots of charts. You get dice and a dice bag. And how about this, guys? You get, count them, 5 score sheets. You get 5. Todd B says, does that include free shipping? How about it? So little old pocket pennant run baseball for $24.99 for the physical version gives you more. And you get the software, which gives you everything. So again, are there any pictures of this baby? Love to see what it looks like. Okay, so Ken's right there. Okay, so if you get the player cards for PDF, $50. That's the price of Out of the Park Baseball. Just saying. That's the price of 2 seasons in PC replay cards and dice baseball, so let's be fair. So the 2024 baseball season will set you back $79.99. But the thing is there's no pictures of the game. There's just no pictures. So I don't know about you guys, but I would love to see. I want to see what the board game looks like if I was back to playing cards and dice. What's it look like? There, maybe there's somebody out there on YouTube playing the game, but this game has to do a lot to command that kind of dosh. It really does. Yeah. Tessier Ashpool is here. Oh my God. Wow. If anybody buys it, poof. Yeah. So much appreciated. Bump Hadley tries to keep up with Sandy Koufax. So that's your spoiler, not mine, buddy. And it's a good one. It's a really good game, guys. So check it out. Jesus. Game is clearly created by that Zimbabwe king that Legend says he's apparently related to and keeps emailing me. I'm next in line. The throne in $5 billion. And Todd, you make a great point. I mean, this is a very niche. Let's pronounce it correctly. This is a very niche rate in gaming. Wow. I mean, season ticket baseball at least comes with like a season, doesn't it? Okay, so Ken put up a link there. I'm gonna just here we go. Sound's gonna cut out a second again, and I'm gonna stop.
Hey guys.
Okay.
Welcome.
So let me bring this over. I don't want to get any get in any shit with YouTube. So I'm gonna try to just capture. Okay, so let me make this larger for you guys. I'm Beatles eternally, man. I'm gonna go off track. So this is what the cards look like. And of course, they can't use real, you know, they can't use real logos. I get that. So there's Shohei Ohtani's cards. So we got a lot of ratings. Lefty righty, of course. So the home and away, so not sure. So strat players have told me that a negative number is good, positive number is bad. So I don't know what this means. Of course, you do get actual stats. Let me move ahead here. We're staying on Shohei Ohtani's card. Okay, here we go. All right, so pitcher command. So we got re-rolls. We got ball in play, a hit by batter check if you roll a 0-11, and then a bunch of ball in play. Again, I can't stream the video without this guy's permission, so I'm just trying to see what this has. Strikeout check. So this would be the batters caught looking on a 111 at a perfect strike. Reroll and then check result against the umpire chart. Pitches outside, ball 4, heads to first. Walk check. That one's high, just a bit too high. Ball 4. Does it matter? The umpire calls it just outside, ball 4. Let me see. I'm going through. These are walk checks. The fastball misses low, ball 4. You ready for a surprise here? On a 127, a curveball slides outside the zone. Ball 4. You roll 128 while the pitch is low, barely outside ball four, and a slider misses just outside. Say it with me and drink. Just slug a shot, ball four. And then it just keeps going on. There's like how many walk? Look, there's walk checks up here. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 12 walk checks on that chart. That's pretty crazy. Then there's some strikeout checks, it seems. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of strikeout checks. And again, it's just it seems like to me that yeah, so no matter the pitcher, he can have a curveball or slider miss. Yeah, exactly. Um, I wish I could play. Again, we're both small channels, but because this guy's 559 subscribers, this is 600 and something or other. And if, dude, if it's your game, buddy, and you're listening in, please, I mean, you're welcome to come on, talk about it. I would love to. So, but what I'm getting without listening to this, because I can't, is that this seems to be padded out. And I don't quite get it. I'm still trying to figure out why this game costs so much. You guys help me. All right, so we got ball in play. So we got a rare play chart on triple zeros, a reroll, and then check a result on a 001 against the mild injury chart. And then once again, you got that hit by pitch. So ball in play. What does this tell us? Let me trying to do my best here by you guys. Lots of ball in play. So all of this must refer to charts. It has to, because I've moved. I've moved 3-4 minutes into the video. Holy shit! So you have error charts, umpire charts, major injury charts, mild injury charts in this game. What else you got? Wow. I don't know. There are all those walk checks again. Maybe he's just going over some things here. Okay, there's the ball in play. Let's look at ball in play. So infield SIN check, a slow roller down the line, first baseman charges, scoops it barehanded, and dives to tag the bag. And then you get a chopper to first baseman fields it cleanly, spins, and sprints to the bag himself, out by a half step. So it seems to me that what they're trying to do through just, when you're rolling the dice or whatever it is that you're doing in this game, that they're adding a lot of flavor text, right? Because this is like, these are all three unassisteds. These first here. So from these rolls, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 3 unassisteds. And then we just move off here. So now we get into everything the third baseman does. And I mean, fun stuff. Yeah, I mean, I like the little prose that goes in there. Tricky one hopper to third. It bounces high off the lip of the grass, but the fielder recovers and makes a sidearm throw. So I'm going to ask you guys that that play cards and dice baseball, because again, I'm not actually reading what this guy has to, or I'm not hearing what he has to say. Okay, when you're playing cards and dice, number one, do you think it's necessary to have 5 ways to go 3 unassisted? I mean, you right? Does it matter? And number two, while I respect, I think it's really cool that they want to try something different and put in a little sort of play by play to kind of give you some immersion. Remember here that we're talking about an $80 game. I don't know. So Nathaniel says no. Um, so this is the guy who designed the game. And again, dude, I'm not. You look like you can kick my ass. I am not trying to be nasty here at all. I'm not. I can't play your YouTube video. YouTube doesn't like that unless you get somebody's permission. So I would love to. Maybe I'll watch it. Maybe you guys watch it. And maybe we can talk about it because they're asking a lot of money for this game, and I think he might be hurting themselves doing this. I do. So all right, let's go back here. Are we back at Shohei Ohtani again? So we're back at Ohtani's card. So that's kind of what you get, guys. Really, really. So just from the time that we go to, because I don't think he timestamps his videos. I didn't do mine either. I don't, you know. So 7 minutes and 57 seconds, roughly, to about the 21-minute mark are all these, and so makes you see it makes it seem like you're getting a lot, but okay, what are the mathematics? Number one, okay, so I don't know how many dice are being used. I have no idea. So, I mean, when you design, even if you take a simple 2d6, right? Well, certain numbers are going to come up, odds wise. I mean, craps, come on, right? But I guess the best thing is just to watch it. But wow, I don't know, man. So here I'm playing a game between two teams that are 20 games under 500. What do I know? Says Todd B. Um, so it does have fast action cards. Tessie Aspel says I could maybe justify the cost of the card stock or product is high quality, but there are literally no pictures. Exactly, and that would make me as a prospective buyer a little nervous. And I would say to this gentleman, man, you show people what the game board looks like, you know. And here I am. I'm a veritable Aegis, and I'm saying, really, you have 5 versions of 3 unassisted. You have 5 versions of a 5-3 put out. There's some 1-3s there and stuff like that. I don't see it. I'm missing something. I get it that games have like in different parts of it, like they're somebody might have on 3 different rolls could strike out, but I think that's kind of a little bit excessive. I do. I guess I would like to know. So now we have single checks, double checks. High fly ball tailing toward the gap. Fielder charges full speed, dives midair and snags it. Full extension out on an incredible play. So let's see. In a single check, we have an out, 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 an out. So this must be the ball in play, but all the out charts. There's a lot of outs. And again, get it. Baseball's a defensive game. But wow. So double checks, outs, 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 outs. I don't know, man. I mean, maybe I'll watch the video after I catch Dwayne's. I'm behind in Dwayne's baseball games, which interests me a lot more. Pirates, Mets. So, in the competition in this market doesn't seem to make this a viable option, says Corey. This is in his opinion. Too many other good cards and dice games for less money. Yeah, about it. Todd B says $80 gets him top shelf booze. He'll pass. Yeah, you're paying for the write-up flashcards. I mean, so there is actual gameplay. All right, so I'm gonna take a chance because you know what? I love you people. I love you people. All right, so Johnny Bench. Johnny's gonna have to hang on a second. All right. All right. So YouTube using this, I'm claiming right now fair use. I can do that. So fair use. I'm gonna have to pause this every once in a while. Maybe we'll find some interesting bits and bobs. All right. So we'll do that. This is fair use. Part of this. So as long as I don't show it again, I'm fine. So we're going to look at a little bit, just a little bit of it. I know we lost a little bit of viewership. Hopefully folks will come back in. All right, guys, let's make this wide. Let's make this big screen here. Kind of looking at the cards. All right, so I would say 10 years ago, right? Production values. Now, of course, it's, looks nice. Okay, cards. Hmm. I'm I'm kind of liking the. I like the font. Looks good. Looks good. Very clean. So you can already see um, that there's not as many, I guess, outcomes on the cards as you would see in Strat, Appa, or indeed, yeah, Pocket Pennant Run. Let's see what happens here.
All right, guys, welcome to High Leverage Baseball. This is my first attempt at a video. Apologize that it's not live. I don't have enough followers on YouTube or Facebook.
Okay, let's see if we can skip ahead here. I want to see something. Okay, so the charts. So these look like the charts coming out.
Runners on base system. So they're in the actual out chart. You can see here. Let me just move this over. In the actual out chart, each out, you can see like this one right here. If you rolled a 205, it would be a single check, and we'll get into that in the mechanisms or mechanics of the game. But you have a single check, and if it fails, you would have an out. And you can see you have a play-by-play, a sharp grounder straight at him. The shortstop sets his feet, feels it cleanly, and delivers a textbook throw. So here, you can see the purple is advance. So let's say if it's a single, then we follow the advancement chart, which would be AD, and over here you would reference AD.
Again, fair use here, YouTube. Fair use, fair use.
When
fair
it
use.
is an out, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here. When it is an out, you would reference AD. So let's say the batter doesn't get a single. The batter is out, and you will see how this works in gameplay. When they are out, we would check AD. If there's a runner on first, it would be a double play attempt. Runner on second, H for hold. Runner on third, H for hold. Runner on first and second. On first, the runner would have a double play attempt. The runner on second, you could have a force play, so you could throw to third. So there's different, very robust system when it comes to run.
Okay, let's skip ahead and see if we can find a game board. So we got cards and charts. I'm just going to pick something at random here. Again, I just keep saying fair use, fair use, fair use. All right.
White and blue, 396. And again, if you don't want to do the advanced chart, there's a very easy out chart here for a 396. Here, it would be basically a 39.
Okay, I'm going to make a comment here. Got to make a comment. It's a $70 game, and you're going to release. Again, I guess this is pre-release, so okay. Yeah, Tennessee Asphalt also declaring fair use. So it's under U.S. copyright. I mean, but YouTube has its own regulations. I mean, and the guy who's, again, man, you want to come on talk? I think it'd be great. It's not that we're trying to figure out why it costs so much. So black and white paper charts. If this is a prototype, okay. If this is what you're going to release for $70, people aren't going to like this. They really, really aren't. Ask people about even just the quality of the cards that they play in the more established games. Okay, anyhow, yeah, I'm kind of lost already too. But to be fair, we are just skipping around because YouTube can be such Puritan.
You would just roll 2 dice on the simple game. You'd have a chance at a single. So if you don't want to do the advanced charts, you can just roll the check here. But we have 396.
Let's see how this plays out.
396 is over here. It says single check. So we have Parker Meadows a chance at a single. 54. 1 to 54, and the adjustment is minus 15 from Aaron Saval. So it will be 39. 1 to 39. I'm going to again read these white to red. Okay, so a single for Meadows. And don't hate my scoring system. This is something I developed as a teen way back in 1979 in Wisconsin, so it's probably not conventional, but it's how I score. All right, so we have Matt Vierling up for the Detroit Tigers. And
How about it?
again, we're going to the command chart and we're going to read low to high. Okay, we have 269. All right, 269, we have a strikeout possibility. So you can see every at-bat starts off with a chance for the pitcher to determine the outcome. So 61, Matt Vierling, and minus 10. So about 1 to 51.
Holy
1 to 51
moly.
is a strikeout. 28, strikeout. Okay, so if in here, in this chart, and I forgot what number I rolled, I don't know, it can either be a regular strikeout or a call looking. The fastball is too much for him. He swings strike 3, or some of them, the batter is doesn't swing.
Whew. All right. Okay. Yeah. So there we go. I don't know. I mean, again, I'm not gonna pass judgment on it or anything like that. I just hope that the release version, people want something for their money. I don't understand the. Okay, I realize there's copy machines and shit like that and whatever, but 5 score sheets. And if this is a pre-release, okay, but there's a lot of page flipping. Do you want to do a lot of page flipping? So, Standby Fake Deep Legend says, not every out needs to be a chance. How about it? Yeah, sometimes just give a straightforward result. And so what I wasn't seeing, Legends, and good eye there on you, is there were so many checks for so many things. It's like, look, there are times, most of the time, right-handed hitter is going to ground to short. He's going to strike out. He's going to fly out. Lefty's going to, whatever he's going to, just good old 6-3, 4-3, 3-1, 1-3, drop Ks, whatever. There seems to be a lot of math involved, and he even forgot what he rolled. And I think if you roll those dice, so here's a suggestion, dude. Keep one roll of the dice and leave that up there, and then just, I guess, roll more. I guess you could charge another $10 for more dice or something. People have dice. You can remember that. If you got to remember what you rolled on the dice, I think that's a problem. So Paul's back. He says, "How am I supposed to get any sleep with you guys? He's becoming a vampire." Good. He's becoming nocturnal. He says, "I've asked him to get Andy Lewis to create dice for her." So Paul, you've mentioned this. So this is turning into a sort of we're trying to understand why the price point in only 4 baseball teams. His friend is a guy who produced Payoff Pitch. So again, it seems like a nice guy. It's just, I think we're all a little bit nonplussed here at this point about what's going on with the game. So, I don't know, man. I guess, yeah, it's high leverage. Yep, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. All right, guys. So bought it, but can't get it until June in Denver. That's right. You said you were gonna get that. No, cuz you're not hijacking at all. Are you kidding me? Come on, you know the rules here. There are very few. And we are talking about, I mean, this is a shared thing for all of us, whether we play digital or cards and dice, and I don't know how you justify that cost. I really, really don't. It's got to be a hell of a game, but I don't know. Again, Legends talks about status pro baseball. Plays clean. Come on, Strat, right? Appa. I've watched guys playing inside pitch, and yeah, sometimes you're doing that strategy roll and stuff, but it seems like, okay, there's a chance. Got to read this low to high, and from a 45 to a 54, you got this, and then from the, and I don't know. It was, my brain hurts. My brain hurts. So tend to agree, but also, yeah. So please do. Lots more seasons to come. But yeah. So what's the deal with the cost of the PDFs? $50. So for one PDF, that's out of park baseball. One PDF in that game, you could buy two physical copies of Pocket Pennant Run. You could buy any baseball game, almost any baseball game out there. Um, Out of the park baseball and MLB The Show are the two most expensive digital games, and so a PDF for that game is the price of the game you're looking at on the screen now. So again, I realize it's cards and dice, but I don't know. I'm lost. Fall Classic has 100 plus seasons for $19 with every player for PDF. Yeah. Legend says, love play by play, obviously. Yeah, you do it well. Says, I don't need wordy descriptions of every result in cards and dice. And I see, I remember playing, we'd play cards and dice, my friends and I at the Student Union building at Penn State, at the Hub. You guys know that. If you're a Penn Stater, it's the Hub. And we would make those plays. We would create that narrative. So again, I mean, plaudits for him to try something different. To maybe he was looking at baseball games perhaps and saying, well, they're kind of dry. I don't want to just throw this and there's this the play results in the card if it's Strat or you're playing APRA and it's like, oh, you roll a 35 and then you got to look at this chart and it just gives you this dry description. I applaud the guy for doing that, but I don't know. I think it would be fair to just watch it. So yeah, I could be talking out my arse right now, and maybe there's gonna be a nice board game that comes with it. I don't know. All right. Anyhow, Johnny Bench right now has aged 20 years. Let's do this. Full count on Bench, and Bench takes outside. So Jim Palmer, 5 walks now. So Palmer not at all sharp today, but somehow holding these Reds to just those 3 runs back in the first. That 3-run shot by George Foster. All right, and here's Dave Concepcion. He is 0 for 1. And the pitch. Concepcion, first pitch swinging. High fly ball to left field, but barely having to move out there is Don Buford, and he will bring it down for out number 1. Bench gets back to first now. Here's Pat Zachary, 0-for-1. And Zachary gets a nice bunt down the third base line, and they will go to first. Sacrifice successful as Brooks Robinson comes in and makes it look easy, firing on to Boone Powell. Johnny Bench in scoring position, 2 away. We're back at the top of the order. Ken Griffey is 0-for-1. 1-0 pitch. Griffey swings, and this one just tapped toward third. Easy play out there as Brooks Robinson on to Boone Powell, 5-3 putout. So Cincinnati picks up a walk, and they strand that runner in scoring position, and they still lead 3-2 as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. He says, but that's the thing. If you know the players, you create the visual in your head anyway. 90% of the plays that are more or less routine. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, and you know what? Your mind is the best graphics, too. Doesn't matter. As beautiful as MLB The Show is, or what have you. It's that narrative that you bring to it. And even in beautiful games like MLB The Show, you're still bringing your own narrative to that game, and you're still imagining. You're creating that whole scene. So I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see, and hopefully, Paul will report on it this summer, and maybe we'll see some more play videos. So hope I'm wrong. I mean, I mean, not that I'm slamming the game. I just don't understand why it's so expensive. All right, Davey Johnson with a home run in this game leads things off for Baltimore, followed by Brooks Robinson and Andy Etchebarren. Here's the pitch. Davey Johnson cuts in the first pitch, and this will be a routine 4-3. So Joe Morgan up and over with it. 1 up, 1 down now for Brooks Robinson, who is 0-for-1. Zachary has the sign from Johnny Bench. Here's the wind and full count on Robinson, and this is going to get down into center field, base hit. That sounds so dead ball era. All right, here's Echeverria now with Brooks on at first. 3-2 your score, 1-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. So Pat Zachary bringing the fastball there. And that'll be strikeout number 5 for him. So Pat Zachary looking a little bit more like Jim Palmer here as Mark Belanger steps in. He is 1 for 1. 2 down, 0-1 delivery on the way. Belanger cuts on this one. Fly ball ranging to his right in right field is Ken Griffey, and he will reel it in for out number 3. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left on. We go to the top of the 5th, the 1976 Reds 3 and the 1970 Baltimore Orioles 2 as we continue. So Paul continues. He says, I'm going to message him to explain the pushback he's getting from the price point. So I'm getting the same reaction on forums. Well, then I won't be the only one to get some yards kicked then. Ken says he doesn't feel so bad ordering a $44 1901 season from Appen now. And again, Paul's telling us, he says he can live with the printed cost, but PDF cost is ridiculous. Dude, at least include a season. Come on, give people something to play. You know? I mean, I think it's cool that you could pick 4 classic teams of your choice, but from when in baseball history, too? Is it going to be 4 classic teams from just the 2020s or 2010s? They're not really classic at that point yet. I guess you could give that to the maybe the Red Sox and Cubbies, but I don't know. Pete Rose, Joe Morgan, George Foster due up. Pete Rose walked in this game. 1-0 delivery to Rose. And Charlie Hustle smacks this one into right field. Base hit. Getting past Boog Powell. So Rose aboard now for Little Joe, who's 1 for 2. Lefty waits for the Jim Palmer delivery. Count full. Morgan swings, grounder to third, 5-4-3. So 2 down. So they had to move quickly there. Morgan fast down the first base line. And here's George Foster. 3-run shot back in the first. Count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Foster swings. This one stays in the park. Oh, and dribbled, kicked, fumbled, whatever you want to call it, by Davey Johnson. Score that one E4, game's first error. And it brings up Dan Dreesen now. So Foster, power and speed on at first. Dreesen, nothing for 1. The 2-1 count. Dreesen swings. This should end the inning. Grounder to short. And up with it is Mark Belanger, and he will fire on to Powell for the 6-3 putout. 2 base runners in the inning, but the Reds do nothing with them. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Cincinnati leading Baltimore in this one-and-done tournament, 3-2. And we have a pinch hitter, so Jim Palmer is done. Terry Crowley comes in to pinch hit. Terry Crowley in 1970 with 5 homers, 20 ribbies, a .257 average. Pat Zachary through 4 innings of work, 5 strikeouts, and a walk. The line for the Reds thus far, 3-4-0, and for Baltimore, 2-5-1. All right, the lefty digs in the box against Pat Zachary. Bench going through the sign. Zachary to deal. 0-2 pitch to Crowley.
Strike 3.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Looks like Crowley might have chased there a little bit. And here's Don Buford now. Nothing for 1. 6th strikeout now for Zachary. Buford sends this down to first base. And fielding it is Tony Perez. And he will feed it on to Pat Zachary for the 3-1 putout. So 2 away now for Paul Blair, who's nothing for 2. Blair ahead in the count, 3-1. And Blair bounces this one to second. And a quiet inning for the Baltimore Orioles. Top of the 6th, still 3-2. So next be your 50th, yep. So yeah, Cousin Ken's been rolling up strats since, yeah, for how about it, 50 years. That's awesome. That is awesome. He says he's playing Apple in the womb. Guess that made your mom a bit uncomfortable, especially when you're old 66s, right? So Paul tells us he loved Dynasty Baseball until it went subscription and can't play True Solitaire mode. Yeah, I was looking at that last year, and I mean, to be honest with you, baseball players like dream, right? I mean, it's like, wow, look at all the numbers and da-da-da-da-da. But, yep, the subscription mode said Don't think so. Although Samuel Smith telling us that APA-Go is going to be finally implementing the master game. So APA players rejoice. They're finally going out of the basic game, and hopefully they'll add more than just Great American Ballpark. So we'll see. It's not they're very APA saying this has no relation at all to Baseball for Windows, which of course is also based on the master game. So we'll see what APA-Go does. Should be interesting. John Hurston has said that he wants that to kind of be the hub for APA, and we'll see how it works. Strat putting out a pretty decent project or product there with Strat Max, and I think I'm going to be maybe jumping back into that, as I've heard from I think John and some others that Strat Max has added some cool features, some things I've been waiting for. We'll see. Mike Silva says, I see everyone excited about high leverage baseball. Oh my God, Mike, I'm telling you what, I can barely contain myself. All right, Dick Hall is on in relief here. 10-5 record in 1970 for the O's. 6 walks, 30 strikeouts, an ERA of 3.08. And he will face the 6, 7, 8 hitters, Tony Perez, Johnny Bench, and Dave Concepcion. Damn it, Mike, I gotta re-download these parks or put that live scoreboard here now using your ballparks. 1-2 pitch on the way now. And Perez swings. This one routine tapper to short. And a little double pump there by Mark Belanger. Score that one 6-3, 1 away for Johnny Bench, who's nothing for 1. And the delivery to Bench. And Bench swings, and this one, shallow fly ball to left. Wind kind of messing with that one a little bit. Don Buford stays on it, calling off Paul Blair. And he will grab it for out number 2. Here's Concepcion now. He is nothing for 2. So Dick Hall seems to be in a very good groove here, just coming on in relief. Here's the delivery now. 1-1 pitch. Concepcion lofts this one to left. Fielders converge. But once again, it's going to be Don Buford making the catch. Cincinnati goes quietly, and we head to the bottom of the 6th inning, and it's still 3-2. Will McEnany now comes on in relief for Cincinnati. So Pat Zachary pitched a pretty damn fine ball game. McEnany, a 2-6 record, 72 1/3 worked in 1976 for these Reds. 23 walks, 28 strikeouts, an ERA of 4.85. Frank Robinson, what a day is he having, huh? 2 for 2 with a home run. Here we go. Here comes the Judge. First pitch swinging, and ground ball up the middle, base hit. So Robinson 3 for 3 in the day. Sponsored, Mike Silva says, high leverage baseball sponsored by Whole Foods. Oh my God. Back in the day. So you weren't a big fan of it. I played Strat Max for a month or so, Paul. I liked it, but I wanted a little bit, funny for a vegetarian to say this, I wanted a bit more meat on the bones to it. So yeah, I think you're right. Paul saying, and again, yeah. He said Mike's a good guy, Steve Shaw, but he made the simple mistake of overvaluing his product. Ease your way in. Again, this is niche. There are some folks out there that collect cards and dice games, like people like me collect digital games. But I don't even collect every digital game. I don't buy PC Replay because I can't justify the price of their seasons. But it's a good product. But I think you got to ease your way in. And putting somebody back $140 for a season and a game, wow. All right, here's Boog Powell leading it off. Count 2-2. Powell sends this one out to shallow center field, and racing in on that one George Foster with the running catch, one away. Robinson retreats to first. Here's Davy Johnson. Davy Johnson homered in this game. He's 1 for 2. Here's the pitch to the Baltimore second baseman. Little tapper to third, 5 to 4 to 3, and it's the inning-ending double play. Side retired, and we head to the top of the 7th inning. The 1976 Reds 3, the 1970 Baltimore Orioles 2. And we're going to see Mike Lum. How about that? So Mike Lum staying in to play left field here for the Cincinnati Reds. In 1976, 3 homers for Lum, 20 runs batted in, a 228 average. Limited action for him in 1976 with 136 at-bats. Dick Hall stays on in relief. No strikeouts, no walks. 0-2 pitch on the way. Lum swings, and this one driven to right. This one's deep, and it's off the base of the wall. Mike Lum going for 2, and he is in there. So Lum picks up the double, and that is hit number 5 for the Reds. And here comes Ken Griffey back at the top of the order now. Griffey nothing for 2. Hall checks the runner, comes home with it now. 0-2. Griffey swings. Little tapper to second, and they've got to go to first. On the play, Mike Lum moves to third. Reds looking for a little insurance here in the top of the 7th as Charlie Hustle steps in. He is 1 for 1. Out of the stretch in the 3-2 pitch. Rose swings, grounder, shortstop looks Lum back, and Belanger fires on to first for the 6-3 putout. 2 away, Mike Lum on third, and Joe Morgan looking for a safe hit here. Little Joe 1 for 3. And they're going to walk Joe Morgan with first base open to pitch to George Foster. Again, that big 3-run blast back in the first. Interesting choice here. All right, so Hall has the side from Echebarren. Out of the stretch, 1-2 pitch to George Foster. Foster swings and cranks this one into the right field alley. Extra bases off the wall. Oh, my goodness gracious. 2 will score. And the throw to third. Oh, my goodness gracious. So George Foster gets the triple, and 2 in. So 2 RBI triple for George Foster, and the Reds putting a couple of the nails in the coffin. Now it is 5-2. All right, here's Cesar Geronimo coming into pinch hit. 307 average for him in 1976. 2 homers, 49 runs batted in. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Sinking liner to center field. And Paul Blair just is amazing. What a great play out there by Paul Blair. That thing gets past Blair, and the Reds blow this game wide open. But they do pick up 2 more runs and 2 hits. They leave a man stranded. 5-2. 7th inning stretch time. Going to take a swig of vodka. Wow. Aaron Reed says that crowd chat sounds like a bunch of brainwashed zombies. You must cheer for our team. Brains. Good night, Mike. Thanks for coming in, man. Sorry I didn't see Mike going out. Legend says there's a segment of the population that believes expensive means quality. I think he's counting on those people. Well, I guess so. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you, Legends. That's got to be his demographic. But what I'm seeing in the game, but again, it could be a prototype. I just don't get it. I mean, wow. But we'll see. Because, I mean, I've heard guys on here go off about the poor quality of this game's cards or that game's cards or whatever. And so I would only say this to this gentleman. I hope your card stock's really good that comes with the those 4 teams that you include in your game. Pedro Bourbon now to pitch here for the Cincinnati Reds, and he'll bat in the fifth position. Brooks Robinson in the box. Mike Lum out there in left, of course. Brooks 1 for 2. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pedro Borbon ready to deal now to Brooks Robinson. Robinson swings, and this one line to left, and this gets down for a base hit. And this one is going to get past Mike Lum, and Brooks Robinson has himself a 2-base hit to lead things off. So here comes Andy Etchebarren. Andy Etchebarren, not known as a home run hitter. 0 for 2 today. And here's the pitch. Etchebarren swings. This one looks like a little Texas leaguer into right, and indeed it is. And a run's going to come around to score for Baltimore. Throw goes up the third base line, and Robinson is in there. So Etchebarren picks up the RBI single, and Baltimore inches a bit closer. It's 5-3 here in the bottom of the seventh. And here's Mark Belanger. 1 for 2. Etchebarren on at first. 0-1 pitch to Belanger. Flew out his last time up. Swung on. Tapper up the middle. And they're going to go to first for the out. Etchebarren moves into scoring position. And here comes Merv Rettenmund now. So as a pinch hitter, let's look at Rettenmund's numbers in 1970. 18 homers, 58 ribbies, a 322 average, and 338 at-bats for him. An OPS of 938. Etchebarren, conservative leadoff of second. Count full as we do a little Mamba, baby. Ground ball to third. And up with it is Pete Rose. And Rettenmund is out of there, so 2 away now for Don Buford back at the top of the order for the O's. Nothing for 2 today. 3-1 pitch coming in. And they're going to walk him. So the unintentional, intentional walk, and here's Paul Blair now, who is nothing for 3. 1-0 pitch to Blair. Swung on, and this one lined out to right field and right into the glove of Ken Griffey. So Baltimore strands 2. A chance goes by the wayside, but they do pick up a run. We head to the top of the 8th. The 1976 Reds 5. The 1970 Baltimore Orioles 3. Marcelino Lopez will come on now to pitch. Lefty. 1-1 record in 1970 for Earl Weaver's Orioles. 14 earned runs for him that year, 37 walks, 40 strikeouts, and a 2.08 earned run average. So he'll mix it up. Pretty good stuff here. And Tony Perez steps in. Perez 1 for 3, the 1-2 pitch. On the way for Marcelino Lopez. Oh, beautiful pitch. Painting the inside corner. Nice fastball. Lopez wanting to establish that strike zone early. Here's Johnny Bench. 2-2 pitch. Look at this. Lopez comes on and gets the good morning and the good afternoon. Can he get Dave Concepcion, who's nothing for 3? 2-0 delivery on the way. And he does not. Lined into right field. Base hit. Here comes Cincinnati with its 7th hit. Runner on. And here's Mike Lum, who is 1 for 1. 2-2 pitch. And strikeout ends the side. So how about that? Marcelino Lopez with 3 strikeouts in the inning. We head to the bottom of the 8th. And it's 5-3 in favor of the 76 Reds. And Manny Sarmiento is on now to pitch for Cincinnati. As Frank Robinson strides to the plate. 3 for 3, including a home run for the Judge. 0-2 pitch. On the way as Kiss plays in the background. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So Frank going after the 0-2 pitch. Coming up, nothing. So Sarmiento picks up the strikeout. Here's Big Boog Powell, nothing for 3. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Flew out his last time up. Powell looks at one in the outside corner. Nice slider there by Sarmiento, picking up his 2nd K. All right, here's Davy Johnson, homer in this game, 1 for 3. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Grounded into a double play his last time, and he's going to ground to third for the final out. Score it 5-3. Side retired. Baltimore goes quietly. We head to the top of the ninth. And Pete Richard will come on now for the Baltimore Orioles to try to keep these Reds quiet. And we're back at the top of the order. Ken Griffey, Pete Rose, and Joe Morgan. Griffey, nothing for 3. Looking at Richard's numbers in 1970, a 7-2 record. He worked 52 2/3, 12 walks. I'm sorry, 12 earned runs, 24 walks, 66 strikeouts, a 1.98 earned run average. All right, the Southpaws finishes warm-up pitches, and we got a lefty-lefty matchup here as Griffey steps into the box. 1-0 pitch on the way. Swung on, fly ball, sinking fly ball out there to center field, but Paul Blair covering the ground out there will make the grab for out number 1. When we get to the bottom of the ninth for Baltimore, we'll see Brooks Robinson, Andy Etchebarren, and Mark Belanger. All right, Pete Rose, 1 for 2. And the 1-2 pitch to Rose. Grounded out last time up. Big swing and a miss there on a curveball by Pete Richards. So, as legends would say, big old bender there. And here's Joe Morgan now. Little Joe, 1 for 3. Count full on the great second baseman who's playing out. And Morgan draws the base on balls. So Joe Morgan, serious wheels there. Here's George Foster. Great day for George Foster. 2 for 4. Responsible for 3. Well, actually, I'm sorry. He's responsible for all 5 runs for Cincinnati. So the 3 in the first and the 2 in the 7th. So George Foster, pretty safe to say, going to be the player of the game here. Richard checks Morgan at first, deals the 0-1 pitch now to Foster. Home run and a triple in this game, and a fly out to shallow center, covering hectares out there is Paul Blair. All right, bottom of the ninth. The Orioles down just 2. Raleigh Eastwick will come on to try to save this one, and he will have to get past Brooks Robinson, Andy Etchebarren, and Mark Belanger. Brooks 2 for 3 in the day. 2-0 pitch. Eastwick deals. And swung on, fly ball, going out to right center, ranging far to his left, and making the catch is George Foster. Busy man today. 1 up, 1 down, and we have a pitch hitter now, Elrod Hendricks. So not Elrond from Lord of the Rings or what have you, but Elrod Hendricks. So 242 average, 12 homers, 41 runs batted in, 322 at bats for Hendricks, an OPS of 699. Eastwick ready to deal. He winds and fires, and this one creamed out to left, but it ain't deep enough, fans, as Mike Lum goes back toward the track and makes the catch. And it's down to Chico Salmon, another pinch hitter, so Weaver once more going to his bench. 172 at bats for him in 1970. 7 dingers, 22 ribbies, a 250 average. All right, will the Orioles be packing their bags, or will they live to fight at least another batter? Richard, with bat in hand, waits on deck. 1-2 pitch. And that's your ball game. Raleigh Eastwick picks up the save, and another team down. All right. We're not going to worry about reading the recap here. The 76 Reds, the line on them, 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors. The 1970 Orioles, 3 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. And our player of the game is George Foster. Absolutely. There you go. So Pat Zachary gets the win. 5 innings worked, gave up 2 earned runs, walked 1, struck out 6, gave up 2 home runs. And of course, Raleigh Eastwick picking up the save. Jim Palmer did not pitch well, to say the least, so he takes the loss. 5 innings also for him. 3 earned runs, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts, and gave up that big shot to George Foster. So the Orioles tried to make it a game, but came up way short, and they go home. So let's look at our matchups, and we'll finish off here by just shooting the breeze for a few minutes. So the 76 Reds move on after defeating the Orioles. The 1948 Cleveland Indians move on from their victory last night against the 1994 Expos. The 1986 Mets move on after dispatching the 1957 Milwaukee Braves. The Houston Astros, and this was a really good game. They defeat the 1942 St. Louis Cardinals, but that was a hell of a game. So the Astros move on. And finally, the 1982 Brewers took care of the 1965 Twins to move on. So there's where we stand right now. And we'll be doing this tournament also in some other games, but this is going to be the one that kind of handles most of it. And that's it. And Aaron Reed says, and this one belongs to the Reds. Thank you, Todd, for that. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much, Paul, Cousin Ken, everybody. Nathan, Nathaniel, thank you. Thank you, Dwayne. Everybody, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, Paul says his wife is his card cutter. God bless her. How about it? So, yeah. So, I mean, he may have caught wind of this. So, I will say this at the very end. I'm not at all knocking your game. What I think community wants to know is, all right, you've told us we're getting a game with no seasons, but I can pick 4 teams for $70. What are we getting? And I'd love for him to talk about the game. It'd be really great. You know, again, because of YouTube's rules, I can't show the whole video. Maybe there's lots more that we could learn. So I'm going to check it out certainly, and I hope you guys will too. What year's the Angels team? 2002, cousin. 2002. Again, just to remind you guys, the link to that article that's on Boston.com is down in the notes or comments section or whatever the hell they call it on YouTube. I have no idea, but it's there. So check it out. Um, I know that there was some question like why they picked the 76 Reds over the 75 Reds. JT Dutch um, getting involved in that discussion. The 27 Yankees, I was going to make an executive decision and not put them in. But Yankees fans, hold your horses. Here's why. It's like the 1927 Yankees are like everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. And again, there's so many great Yankee teams. I'm not a Yankees fan, but there are great, great teams. I wanted to substitute them for either the 19. I was really leaning toward the 1936 Yankees. Great year for Gehrig. You got DiMaggio's rookie year in '36, but I was also thinking of the '61 Yankees. I think Dwayne Marsh would have liked having the '61 Yankees in here. And if it was Sports Time Machine, he'd want every Yankees team in here. So that one was kind of like, all right, we'll leave them in there and go with it. Um, but I think for the teams that have lost, so maybe what we do in another sort of project down the road is we bring them back somehow. So like these 1970 Orioles, I mean, because the teams that lost were still excellent teams. So it'd be fun to maybe do something with them. Maybe once the schedule editor is out for Pocket Pennant Run, maybe create a project with the teams that got knocked out of this tournament. We'll see. All right, and I guess that's it. Wow, we topped out big time tonight. Did really well for this our tiny little family. We peaked at 25. I really appreciate it, and we appreciate it. So, any folks new to this, and again, I do hope that the creator of High Leverage Baseball will agree to come on and you know um, making some inroads in the community. Dude, you and I, again, I'm addressing him. We're probably 70 people difference in our channels, if that. So we're kind of reaching the same amount of folks. It's a great family, great people in here. They will ask you questions, very pointed questions, but it's a chance to talk about your game, and I hope that you'll come on, um, and understand that we're just kind of puzzled. We're not saying you got a bad game, but we're very puzzled. 61 Tigers, great team. Absolutely. That's an excellent team that doesn't get a lot of love. How about it? It'd almost be fun to just do a 61 replay, just to watch the Tigers and Yankees battle out. But we could just play them in a 7-game series sometime for fun. So always looking for new suggestions from you guys. Really appreciate it, guys and gal, because we got Barbara too. Barbara's a big New York baseball fan, New York sports fan. Yeah. We're congratulating Aaron. He says finally finished the regular season of 1966 with Apple. Good for you, Aaron. Good for you, man. Season replays are hard. I mean, I think they're easier in digital baseball. Still, it's a lot of work. So, back to your Fallen League of Stars narrative. Love it, love it, love it. World Series coming soon. There's still a couple games left, but they are meaningless. Yeah. All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. It is 12:07 a.m. And thank you to everybody who came in tonight. This family is awesome that we have here. So we continue to do it. Again, a couple reminders. Subscribe to all the great content creators in our wonderful community here. Dwayne Martz has a great broadcast that's going to be coming up Monday, unveiling version 13 of Digital Diamond Baseball. I'm excited about not only Status Pro full integration, but as well, they've redone the interface for the Sean Lahman import function, and just looking forward to a lot from it. And Dwayne is the community guru in Digital Diamond Baseball. So, and Aaron says, good crack. He's remembering his Irish. Good for him. Ken asking Dwayne what time. I'm going to try to bribe Dwayne to wait till like about 9 o'clock or something. But we'll catch him anyhow. So tune in. Check out Legend Sports Universe. Great game tonight between the Twins and the Dodgers. Dan Bruther's making some noise in there, cousin Ken, in that game, by the way. Showing some love here for the 19th century. How about it? Ken, I still want to do a 19th century tournament or something. Oh man, I'm gonna have to get on Facebook and kind of message back and forth. Maybe see if you have an idea for something with the 19th century. Maybe it's a 19th century draft league or something, because I would like to do that. For those nights when we got the hardcores hanging around doing some 19th century baseball, I think would be so much fun. All right, so as they say in Dutch, Paul, eet smakelijk. All right, bon appetit, however you want to say it. Do that, buddy. If it comes out on Monday, he's delayed it before. Yes, he has. Figure out why Out of the Park do not have any 19th century seasons. Oh, wow, Jamie, thank you for reminding me. Let's go back to the Outer Park main screen and let's see if we can do that, because it's been a couple patches since then. So let's do a new game, because it might have been my screw up. I don't know. New historical game. No bloody challenge mode. No. All right, so we picked 1884 before, right? So we're going to do this. Replay mode. And next step, when your ratings, hold expansion draft, does that even matter in this? All right, we'll let it go. Turn that off. Not going to be any minor leagues, of course. Though I wonder with the 19th century, do I have to... Oh, there are no minor leagues. I can't choose. Okay. Because there aren't. Okay, let's just see. Import rookies directly to teams. Thank you for reminding me, Jamie. By the way, guys, while we're doing a lot of advertising here for other folks, the Sports Gaming Journal, SGJ Jamie, check it out, man. Just recently learned he did a lot of seasons for Diamond Mine Baseball, by the way, a lot of projects. Good stuff in that whole set where you can get 1871 to 1926. Jamie involved in that. All right, new game. Yeah, I guess we'll just call it Providence in case we get lucky. Once a month, let's do daily saves. And a manager cannot be fired. Play in commissioner mode because I'm in Egypt. I was born in 1854. And here we go. Let's see if we get 1884 this time. Okay, so it's porting the historical year, managers, initializing. I don't know, man. It blew through players pretty quickly there. All right. Let's take the Boston Bean Eaters. We can for anybody, but let's just go with the Bean Eaters. All right. Okay, this is the scary bit here. Team home screen. Do we have a player list? We do not. Wow. Okay. So there's nobody on the Boston Bean Eaters. Let's see. Play. Do I have to like do a draft here? No. So because when I try to play to opening day, let's see what happens. Because there's nothing going on here, man. Well, it's saving a bunch of stuff. I've never seen this before that it doesn't do. It's just, it's stuck in a loop. Do you guys see that? You're welcome, Paul. You are welcome. Hey, Clinton Parks, he played 2 tonight. All right. Yeah, so looks like we're in just a loop here. Wow. Holy shit. All right, I've got to get on the out of the park boards because nothing is happening here. Yeah, look at this. I'm trying to stop autoplay. I think it's trying to find a database. It's just in this endless loop. So it's moving forward, but there's nothing happening. And I can't even get out of this autoplay. Holy shit. Okay, there we go. Oh, now we have players. I'll be damned. Look at this. We have players. I got to find pictures for these guys, but good news, cousin. We got 1884. We got 1884. Pirates come back after giving up grand slam, win 5-4 over Cardinals. Carl Scheib fires 2-hitter before tiring as A's win 3-1. Box scores have been sent out, including one to fella named McGregor. That'd be I. Also sent out the scorecards because you can't tell the players without a scorecard. And my Buccos are playing the Cardinals actually in the 2025 season. Let's see what they did. So Ken, we got us 1884 loaded in, which means we're going to have to do something with it. Oh, the Pirates did not play tonight. Okay, we start a series with Cincinnati. We'll reach tied. We're at 5-8. So, let's see. We'll look with are these free agents. So I'm looking at the roster for the Bean Eaters. Let's look at Providence. That's Ken's team, and he'll be able to tell us if it's right or not. So there's Ely. Well, I don't know if this is I don't know, man. This doesn't look right. I don't think this is right. There's George Pinkney. So what? There's Joe Flynn, Dave Egler. A big. I didn't know Adonis Terry played for Providence. I had no idea. Watch these numbers go down here as we're in the 19th century now. Let's look at these lineups. So, yeah, there's Joe Farrell. But let's look at pitching. If Old Haas ain't on here, then it must have done. Yeah. So Radbourn's not on here, so this is not correct. Yeah. So it looks like they drafted the players. Yup. So I got to find out why that is because in previous editions of Out of the Park, these were proper. So, damn, cuz I'm gonna have to. I'll have to find out what's going on with this because none of this is right. Because I don't remember Adonis Terry being a Providence Gray, and where's Old Haas? He's not here. So, um, bizarre, bizarre, bizarre. Clinton Thomas Adonis Terry played for Brooklyn in 1884. So, but so until we can do that, cuz I'm gonna do something for you, man. I'm gonna bring up another game. Finding ballparks for this is gonna be fun. Here's our tournament, by the way. So, cuz I'm gonna do this for you before we bugger out of here, okay? Not that we want to do any buggering, because buggery in the high seas, we get you a date with the captain's daughter. Where do I even get this shit in my head? I have no idea. I'm so sad. All right, cuz. Let me see. There's a trick to finding the 1800s in here. I know it's not a game you're a fan of, but at least we can set it up here to play some 1884 baseball. But I figure out what the hell's going on in Out of the Park. We could also let Ernie do it too, but oh my God, where's the 1800s? So they all still like now. I think they were like kind of mixed in here somewhere. Going back, channeling my. Oh, you know what? They have their own. They have their own directory. That's the problem. Hold on a second. Hold the phones, baby. Oh shit. All right, I'll have to look for him, cousin. I have the whole 19th century in this game as well, but I don't know where the hell it went. So I'll install 1884 in this. Yeah, Messer Street Grounds very difficult to find. So what I'm going to have to do, if we have to do it in this, is somebody did a Messer Street Grounds for Out of the Park baseball. I'll just use those ballparks for in this game. So, guys, that's about it. Wow, we're still at 21. Holy hell, that's pretty amazing. So sorry about this one, guys. I don't know what's going on, but I've got to get rid of this Providence Grays thing, obviously, because it ain't right, baby. It ain't right, and I'm not going to put up with it. So interestingly enough, it didn't even save it. So there's something really bizarre going on here because there's no eight. Oh yeah, there it is. Providence. Got to delete it. It's not going to let me delete. It's not going to let me delete because it's not actually here. That's weird. Because anything else you can see, I can delete anything, but I can't delete Providence. I'll have to get rid of it some other way. What if I save it and then go to the let's load a different game, 1934 World Series. We had this set up for Nathaniel. We haven't started playing it yet. Okay. So we are ready to go with Schoolboy Rowe and Dizzy Dean. So when we do play game one of the 1934 series by request, it's going to be a good one. All right. So Out of the Park, start screen, and load game. And now I should be able to get rid of this. Yep. There we go. Okay. I will find out. Yanked every ballpark program out of Action PC form. Very few 19th century in there. Yeah, so Clinton, I know you. I don't think you have out of the park baseball, but there's a lot of 19th century parks. Guy named E.S. Rivkin did it. So there are 19th century ballparks in out of the park baseball. Just screen grab them, and you can just put them in to Action PC baseball. Easy enough. Okay, gentlemen, thank you very, gentlemen and lady, thank you very much. And we'll see you next time. And until then, um, maybe by the next time we get together, you guys will be saying, "Hey, high leverage is, it might be worth the money after all," and all that. So we'll see you around the batting cage. And thank you, one and all. All right. Good night. Oh, and see you around the batting cage. Holy shit.